about to get real, keep it live, that's right. From Pennsylvania to across the globe, it's time for the Steelers All-Star Show.
Welcome to the Steelers by the Lake podcast. My name is James Strong, joined once again by my co-host Cody Tanner. Cody, how are you on this chilly Saturday morning?
Oh, James, I'm doing well. One more week until I'm getting out of this chilliness. So I'm excited for that. But I'll tell you what I'm not excited for. I'm not excited for Steelers football. I'm not. And that's okay. We'll get to it. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. James, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. We're going to need one of these today because it's early, man.
It is early.
We got a 5:30 a.m. record time. We're rocking and rolling to get this out to you folks nice and early and tell you all the things, good and bad, on what's going on with Pittsburgh right now. Some new injuries, some transactions, some new all-stars added to the roster, even older than the old ones. Cody's going to tell you. He's not wrong.
Not, just not.
But we'll tell you why that could be a good thing and difference for why the other one was a bad thing. But onward we must roll, right, Cody? So first news is the happy news, and that's the release of Darius Slay.
Yep.
You can have the claps for this, Cody.
Yeah, hang on, hold on. Let me go get him. There you go.
I don't think there's a single Steelers fan who wanted Darius Slay around for another day. Darius Slay was on that list. Also didn't want to be there anymore. A mutual parting of the ways. He got claimed by the Buffalo Bills and then decided he's not so sure he even wants to continue playing anymore, which seems to be a huge play for him just to try to get back to Philadelphia, who also claimed him in the waiver wire, but was lower in the pecking order, so they didn't get him. So he seems to be playing the I want to retire card in an attempt to get Buffalo to waive the rights from claiming him so that he can go to Philadelphia. Philly will find out real quick that he's not a quarter of the player he used to be anyway. Nice guy, class act the whole time he was in Pittsburgh. Just doesn't have the speed anymore, couldn't run with guys.
Nope. And that's going to be the problem at the cornerback position. If you can't keep up with, especially in our division, with the guys that you're going to be going up against, Zay Flowers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, even Jerry Jeudy and company on the Browns. I mean, you got to have the speed, and unfortunately, you just don't have that when you get to that age, and it's unfortunate, but it's part of it. And so, that is what it is. So we're excited to have Asante Samuel Jr. on the 43.
Or 53.
Or 53, 43. I'm thinking of the average age of this team.
You're thinking of Troy Polamalu.
I am. So real quick, after the last game, a guy by the name of Seth Rorabah. So this was on 11/30, 2025 at 5:02 p.m. posted a tweet and said, excuse me, not that. Mike Tomlin will say something like, "We can't eat soup with forks. We need spoons." Then the Steelers will sign a 2018 Pro Bowler to the practice squad. Well, guess what, Mr. Seth? We didn't sign him to the practice squad. We signed him to the 53. Pittsburgh did claim Adam Thielen off waivers from Minnesota. And so he ironically is a 2018 Pro Bowler. And so I thought that was hysterical and so just unfortunate that you know how this team operates and how Mike Tomlin operates. But we'll get to that in a second. Or do you want to talk about
Let's jump into the Thielen news right now. It's Adam Thielen. As Cody mentioned, a Pro Bowler in 2018. He's had many good years since then as well. Just recently asked for his release out of Minnesota. Very similar story to Darius Slay. But in Minnesota, Adam Thielen was buried on the depth chart since the beginning of the season. It's not like he was a starter at the beginning of the year and then got demoted for poor play. He was just kind of a fourth guy on the roster because they had a deep wide receiver room. Let's not sugarcoat it. Adam Thielen is not going to go out there and run a 4.3 40-yard dash. But the Steelers don't need that. They have a whole wide receiver room full of guys that are incredibly fast, and none of them seem to have a clue how to run a route or where they're supposed to be on the field when. And that is what Adam Thielen brings to this team is professionalism. You've already seen some footage released to him in practices. He's in and out of his breaks twice as fast as Ben Skoranek. And by the way, I think this could be a huge thing for Ben Skoranek's development. I know he's only going to get 5 games with him, but he's going to get to have the tutelage of somebody that he's never had that kind of tutelage before, ever. And they're a similar body type. So this could be a real big advantage for Skoranek.
Yeah.
So running your routes appropriately, getting in and out of the breaks, not rounding it when you're at the top of the pattern, cutting it off, and being able to read a defense and understanding where the soft spots in a zone are, he's going to be on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. And I think you're going to see some short yardage production when they're in those 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 type situations, and Aaron's trying to find somebody. Thielen's just going to pop open in these areas. And it's not because he's going to run away from people. It's because he's going to understand the soft spots in a zone coverage and sit down in between the zones, present his numbers, and give Aaron Rodgers a target that he can depend on being in the right place. And that makes all the difference in the world. He could get 3 catches a game and be tremendously better than what we're getting out of that room right now. And I'm talking like 3 catches a game for like 25 yards. And he could make a big difference in doing something that small.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the one thing I'm going to say, James, with this move, I understand the move. I get it. I understand that they're having issues with the guys in the room, the lack of football, maybe IQ and awareness on the professional stage. But in my mind, yes, this is going to possibly upgrade the development of some of these guys, Ben Skoranek included.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I mean, they were working with Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. It's not like the veterans weren't in the room already. So I don't want to say, oh my gosh, now they're gonna develop into something great. No, I think either they weren't paying attention from the beginning, or the guys aren't mentoring from the beginning. One of those two things, more than likely, or a combination of both. That's fine. But here's where
there's a difference of learning from a quarterback and learning from a wide receiver. DK is not a good route runner. He never has been. He's a go ball guy. He's a go ball and a slant guy. And that's the difference, is that this is a guy that runs all the routes. And they haven't had that on the team since Antonio Brown left. There has not been a guy that's a really, really good route runner. I mean, Deontay Johnson to a degree was, but he was a nutcase himself, and literally his mentals got him out of the league.
Yeah.
So,
he's clearly not on a team.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on the Browns at one point this year, and I don't think he ever even got a snap.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I understand what you're saying, but here's where I'm going with it. If it, like, where I'm at mentally with this is it. I mean, you just made another move, bringing in another veteran, which we just saw them try this with Darius Slay and it blow up in their face because he wasn't fast enough. He lost his speed, he lost his edge. He wasn't good enough to the fact that we released him at the price of what, 10 mil? Or whatever was left on his contract.
He got a month through the contract already.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This game is make or break, in my opinion, for this season. And I know that you're gonna be like, oh, here we go, drama Cody, negative Nancy, whatever.
Well, no, I already know what you're gonna say. If they lose this one, they're losing the rest of them. And if
no. I don't think they'll.
Oh, well,
I don't think.
Stop.
No, I don't think they'll necessarily lose the rest of them. But my brain says, okay, we've made yet another move to try to make this team more stacked or more aggressive. I don't understand, outside of, okay, maybe he knows where to sit in a zone, if in the zone coverage. I don't see how bringing in another wide receiver changes the play calling, because the issue we've been having is the play calling for the most part. If we lose this game, this season is done in my mind. I'm not saying we lose out, but I'm saying, like, I lose all hope, all idea that this team can make changes, do things. All we've done from the whole time is change the names, do the same thing, but change the names who are doing it. So I'm holding my breath for one more game, and I'm going to watch this. And
try not to give up in the first quarter this week, huh?
I'll wait till the second. I'll wait till the second when we're down 14-3.
So to me, I know people are like, hey, oh my God, this means you're giving up on Calvin Austin. This means you're giving up on Roman Wilson. No, it means you're giving up on Scotty Miller, who hasn't played all season anyway. Scotty Miller has given you absolutely nothing. It's not about the guys at the top of the room, because those guys are the ones that are tipping passes in the air and causing interceptions and running wrong routes. Those are the guys that aren't understanding where to go in the scramble drill. That's the stuff that's so important that a veteran knows how to do that these guys just aren't doing mid-game. So that's why I'm so excited about it. I don't think that this is going to be any like huge needle mover. I don't think that Adam Thielen's going to go for 100 yards receiving in a game. I'll be stunned if he gets 50. Like, that's not who he is as a player anymore. But you are going to get that professionalism out there, and you're going to get blocking that is at an incredibly higher level than what you're getting out of Calvin Austin. And it's not that Calvin Austin isn't trying. He is. He's just tiny.
Yeah.
And tiny football players get beat by big football players. It's just the way it works.
Yep. I understand what you're saying. So no, I'm just I'm just gonna wait and see how this goes, because again, like we have the names we have on the team right now, and we're still not throwing over the middle of the field. Blows my mind. I don't see how you bring Adam Thielen in and all of a sudden we're going to throw over the middle of the field. All of a sudden we're going to be able to move the ball downfield.
You
I don't understand
guys that actually run over the middle of the field too, instead of running out patterns when they're not supposed to.
Who ran an out pattern that they weren't?
Johnny.
Oh yeah, okay. John, okay, my bad. That was a post, or that was a corner instead of a post.
It starts with running where you're supposed to. You can't find an open guy over the middle if the guys are afraid to run over the middle.
I understand. Let's move on. Dante Kent has a 21-day window to return opened up and gets injured on his first day of practice. So,
and it sounds like a significant injury that'll cost him the season. Not like you were going to be counting on him for any serious snaps anyway. They didn't even have to report what it was. It was a statement released by Burt Lawton, the head of the PR department for the Steelers. So his season is over just as quickly as it restarted, unfortunately for him. And the injury list is going to look similar to this too. So as we talk about the injuries going into this game, this week an injury happened to Kyle Duggar, and hand injury. No clue what it was, but it's bad enough that he's out for the game. Calvin Anderson, we're now understanding, has a knee injury. That's the top backup offensive tackle. He's out for this game. Derek Harmon's still out with his knee injury. And then there's a slew of other guys that are dinged up, but everybody else intending to play this week. So TJ Watt did miss time early in the week with that toe injury. He's back full. James Pierre appears to have cleared concussion protocol. So that's awesome. We'll have him. Joey Porter's good to go. Ben Skoranic's good to go. Rogers is playing. Patrick Queen is going. He's got a glute injury. He was limited most of the week, but he is playing. Ramsey's playing, and then so is DK Metcalf. So the real concern here is that you go down one more guy in the safety room. And that's significant when you're already out Deshaun Elliott for the season, and any hope of getting him back was lost about a week ago when he did an interview and was still on crutches and said how he's excited to play next season. Which is not the language that you use if you think you're coming back this season.
Yeah.
So no hope of Deshaun Elliott coming back to save the room.
Did you go over the Derek Harmon? Did you say Derek Harmon as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And Harmon got ruled out Monday, so that injury was bad enough that they knew he wasn't going to be ready for this game very early in the week. And I accidentally skipped over this, but Alex Highsmith is Steelers Man of the Year nominee this year.
Yeah. I think it's the first time in a long time that it hasn't been Cam Hayward, so that's impressive.
Last year was Larry Ogunjobi.
Okay.
But outside of that, yes. Yeah, I said the same thing. I said the problem.
I should, and that's not that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
No,
their play on the field, but it was just weird.
But legitimately, it's a popularity contest. So if you're going to win it, you probably better be a big name guy.
Yeah, that's fair. On the Ravens side of the ball, injury wise, Tavarius Robinson, a linebacker, I believe a backup linebacker's out with a foot injury. And then Darius Washington, the safety, out with an Achilles injury. Everyone else on this list is listed as more than likely playing. You have Rashad Bateman with an ankle injury, Lamar Jackson with that ankle injury. Travis Jones with a personal issue was listed on the injury list. Ronnie Stanley with just rest, and then Devontae Walker, the wide receiver, groin injury, and Nate Wiggins dealing with a foot injury. All those guys more than likely will play. So big one there, obviously, even though he's not listed as out, as Lamar Jackson with that ankle injury, how bad that's going to be kind of right there at the same time, Rashad Bateman as one of their top receivers. So
Yeah, he
not
has
going to prevent
looked
them from
100%,
playing.
right?
Yeah.
Lamar has not looked 100% at all the last few weeks. In fact, he looked pretty bad last week in both his mobility and ability to throw the football. So we'll see. This team has not scored a lot of points this year. Only twice have they gone over the 30 mark on the season. And it was early in the season in both times. The first week against the Bills, they put up 40 and lost 41-40. And then shortly thereafter lost to the Browns. They beat the Browns when putting up over 30 points. Other than that, it's been 30 or less every week, including last week where they were in the single digits. So the offense very much so struggling for the Ravens, but maybe just what the doctor ordered for them is the struggling Steelers defense right now, who is somehow more injured through the week than they were coming into the week.
Yep. Very interesting how that happens. Looking at their depth chart, James, we're obviously Lamar Jackson on that offensive side of the ball being the starting quarterback. If he happens to go out with an ankle injury or something else, Tyler Huntley would come in. Fullback Patrick Ricard, probably one of the top two fullbacks and only two real fullbacks in the league, honestly. Derrick Henry, that big times running back. We got to watch out for him. Wide receivers are Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and then you have DeAndre Hopkins as that third string. And then you look at that tight end room, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Both of those guys have gone off against us in the past. And then the offensive line from left to right, left tackle Ronnie Stanley, left guard Andrew Voorhees, and Emory Jones Jr. listed as starters, which is interesting.
They're rotating there.
Okay.
So.
Center Tyler Linderbaum, right guard Daniel Falele, and right tackle Roger Rosengarten. So decent offensive line, very good at run blocking. Sometimes they let Lamar Jackson take a couple sacks. Hopefully they can do that tomorrow. Tomorrow. Couple like maybe 5 or 6 times for TJ if you're feeling.
Yeah, right.
I'd like him to be up again above Miles again because I'm hating all the freaking stuff he's getting. But
yeah, and you know what's frustrating is every time I see a highlight of Miles, I'm like, man, nobody even blocked him on that play.
Nope.
Like he's not getting double teamed, he's not getting chipped, and half of his sacks are completely unblocked. Like this is going to be the worst thing ever because I feel like he's probably going to break the record, and I'm going to be like, he didn't do anything. Yeah, he had a lot of sacks, but like I'm watching, he gets 4 sacks one week, and the highlight is two plays of him with no one even touching him. And it's not because he made people miss. Like the sack in the last week's game, sure, he juked those dudes out, but nobody even got a hand on him. You got to be pretty embarrassed. You can't even get a hand on him.
Yep. Yeah, very interesting. So obviously Lamar's the threat on that offense. Derrick Henry as well.
The O-line here has really been struggling this year for them.
Yeah.
Daniel Falele, he was supposed to be a tackle. He moved inside to guard. He's just lost in there. So in the run blocking game, that's kind of his best move. When you pass rush at him, he struggles mightily. The left guard position has been the same issue, which is why they're rotating in a young late round draft pick in Emory Jones with Andrew Voorhees. None of them having much success. Linderbaum looking much worse than normal. Rosengarten drastically worse than last year. So Ronnie Stanley at left tackle is really the only guy that's consistently putting good tape out there. So some opportunities. This is their starting offensive line, not a bunch of backups, but definitely some opportunities with how these guys are playing. And Baltimore not known for being like a quick 3-step and pass type team.
James, I'm smiling because you act like if their backups were and it would matter because last week it didn't.
No, it's a good thing that the starters are out there because somehow we don't play good against backup offensive linemen.
Yep.
We only beat the starters. So I'm happy that it's starting offensive linemen because if they're going to have a good game, they have to go against starters apparently.
Yep.
We're on the same page on this one, just coming at it a little different.
On the defensive side of the ball, their defensive front, so they run a 3-4 similar to us. Their defensive front is John Jenkins, Travis Jones, and Brent Urban. None of those guys making massive splashes in stats or anything like that this year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Travis Jones is...
I want to say he's been off and on the injury list this week.
I think he has. 4 years.
I don't think he was injured right now, but I think
No,
he has been throughout the season.
but I mean, he's got a sack and a half this year. John Jenkins has 1 sack, and then the other guy, Urban has a half sack. So like they're not doing anything in that, and none of them are even like up over in the 20s or 30s tackles. So they're not doing a whole lot on that linebacker crew. However, those guys are the ones you kind of got to watch out for. Secondary is definitely the threat, but linebackers are nothing to be excited about going against them. Draymond Jones, the outside linebacker. You also have Kyle Van Noy, and then the 2 interior linebackers, Roquan Smith and Teddy Buchanan. Roquan Smith, obviously being the guy that was 1 and 2 with Patrick Queen when he was there. But Teddy Buchanan is a rookie this year out of California, making a quiet name for himself, having a somewhat decent year. So,
yeah, when you look at their secondary, the
Mhm.
cornerback room, you got Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins. Humphrey having a substantial drop off in play this season. Nate Wiggins being quite good when healthy, a very, very thin but very fast cover corner. He did get injured last week and was not able to continue in the game. He is going to play this week, but it's with a foot injury. So this could be something that bothers him throughout the course of the game, could be an advantage for Pittsburgh. Safety room, Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks listed as their starters there. Kyle Hamilton, they move all over the place. So he'll play some middle linebacker. He'll play some slot corner. He's very susceptible to speed. This is a starting safety that ran a 4.7 40-yard dash. He got beat a couple of times last week in one-on-one coverage, one of them in the corner of the end zone by a tight end. Couldn't run with him. This is the premier safety, one of these premier guys in the league. He can't run with some tight ends. So he's very smart. He knows where to be. He's a good tackler, but not an elite athlete by any means. They do rotate in Alohi Gilman, who they traded for right before the trade deadline in that starting unit. So sometimes you might see him, sometimes you might see Starks. If Hamilton moves off to a quasi linebacker type position, you'll see Gilman out there.
Yeah, and then their special teams, because they matter. Punter Jordan Stout, kicker Tyler Loop, long snapper Nick Moore, and then kickoff return is Keaton Mitchell and Rasheen Alley. And punt returner is LaJohntay Wester. So I don't believe any of those guys have touchdowns this year. I could be wrong on that, but just got to make sure we don't give up big plays in the special teams aspect of the game. You got to make sure we're getting some good plays there as well. James, before we share about our keys to success, let's share about our lovely sponsor, Steelers by Lake sponsor.
Absolutely. Steelers by the Lake, supporters of Steelers by the Lake include Edinburgh Hotel Bar at 100 Meadville Street in downtown Edinburgh, providing a variety of lunch and dinner items every day, along with full-service catering, private party accommodations. Details are available at 814-734-5103 or online at edinburghhotelbar.com.
Good. Love the good Edinburgh Hotel Bar. I will be there this week to watch the game. James, is my last time in Pennsylvania to watch the game. So excited for that. It'll be a good time. If you guys are listening, if anyone's listening and is around the Erie area, come on out. Just tell us you're here because of the podcast and we'll pull up a chair for you. It's a good time, good atmosphere, goes crazy in the fourth. Hopefully they don't play Renegade and boo it, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen this week or not. But obviously Jill and Nick are not with us today. If you haven't noticed by now, I don't know what you've been doing. But we are going to share Jill's keys to success before we share our own. And so Jill's first key to success is holding Derrick Henry under 100 yards rushing. And she specifically said, shut down Henry. For us to actually win this game, we've got to hold him to less than 100 yards rushing. It will be a miracle if we can hold him under 150. Realistically, he's probably rushing for something like 250 with how pitiful our run defense has been. Don't blame her for that mindset at all.
And to be specific, she says shut down Henry here. She does not mean Henry from Gressos. You want Henry from Gressos to just absolutely thrive this week. So
yes, yes, we do. Solid football IQ, great guy.
Awesome.
And then her number 2 key to success is long, sustained offensive drive. She put period after every single one of those words because that's how important it is. Don't care how, it just needs to be done. Far too many of these games, we don't control the ball. The best way to beat the Ravens is to keep Lamar and Henry off the field. And then I want to second that note and say Pittsburgh's time of possession last week was the second worst in franchise history.
Yeah, historically bad.
So just putting that out there. But James, would you like to share your keys to success next?
I have no problem going first, but I'm going to give you the opportunity, even though it put me up here, to go first if you would like to, because it is going to put you in that back-to-back situation if you want to avoid that. You're all right with it. Okay, cool. So my first key on this one is going to be to get some third down conversions, and I'm going to give you one very specific person I want to see them from. I want 3 first down conversions from newly acquired Adam Thielen. I believe that is exactly how he's going to be used in a quasi tight end type role. A lot of over the middle stuff, a lot of sitting down in between zones. And he understands where he's at on the field. He has incredibly reliable hands. And I do believe he's going to get you that 1 or 2 yards after making his catch to make a difference in converting first downs. Got to get first downs, like Joe said, getting sustained drives. That all comes with converting on third down. And I'm saying 3 first downs achieved by Adam Thielen in this game.
I like it. James, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to go ahead and say for my first one in my back-to-back keys to success, number 1 is going to be getting to Lamar Jackson, riling him up, getting quarterback hits, getting sacks. I want to see the actual sack number matter. I want to see 6 sacks in this game by our defense, and I don't care where they come from. I don't care if we're blitzing Brandon Echols from the nickel position. I don't care if it's Jalen Ramsey from the safety position. It could be Alex Highsmith. It could be Patrick Queen. I'd love to see a Peyton Wilson sack. I don't care if it's coming from Keanu Benton, or obviously not Derek Harmon, but I don't care where it comes from. I want to see 6 sacks because I think that's the way you beat this team, this Ravens team, is you get under Lamar Jackson's skin. You force them into very long third downs to where they can't use Derrick Henry to run the ball, and they're forced to try to use Lamar's arm to get those first downs. My second key to success, James, is going to be, and it's so hard not to bring in the tight ends because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I know that that's probably going to be successful, but I want to see us have a successful running game as well. I want to see the team have 150 yards rushing. Same thing with the sacks. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care if it's let me clarify. It shouldn't be a handoff or pitch to DK Metcalf, but I don't care if that's where it comes from. I want to see 150 yards rushing. I want to see, and that helps with the sustained drives. That helps keep the drives going and last longer. So gives our defense time to rest as well. So that is my second key to success.
My second one is going to surprise everybody that listens on a regular basis. And you might even get to see a shocked face from Cody. Pittsburgh needs to be effective passing the football again. I don't say that I want them to throw for 400 yards or 500 yards or anything outlandish. I'm putting the bar low. But I want to see 220 yards passing in this game. The last few weeks have been so bad that we're talking about 130-yard passing performances. That's unacceptable to win in the NFL. You have to sustain drives, like Jill said. You absolutely have to establish a run game, like Cody said. You do need to have a complementary passing game, or teams will just load up the box like Buffalo did and not concern themselves with whether or not you're going to throw the football because you can't do it. So we need a minimum performance of 220 yards passing to keep the Baltimore defense honest, to keep them backed up off of that offensive line so that you can run the ball as well. So I'm going 220 yards passing from the Steelers. I also don't care where it comes from. If you have a wide receiver pass from Thielen, I'm good.
Good old Antoine Randall out of Heinz Ward.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't seen one of them yet this year. Nobody's throwing the ball but the quarterbacks. Maybe it's time. I don't know.
That would be funny. Now it's time for score predictions. Jill's up first, and she's not with us. She has the score prediction being 24-10 Ravens. Ravens getting the dub at home against Pittsburgh. That's her score prediction. And I'm gonna kind of even take it a step further if you don't mind me sharing next.
Go for it.
34-7.
Steelers, huh?
Ravens 34-7. I don't see this offense changing enough. I don't see the defense stopping anybody. It's just been a pitiful performance, and Mike Tomlin is not the guy to make changes. At least meaningful ones. So we'll see what happens.
All right, so that brings me up. I think that benching a starting corner is a meaningful change.
That wasn't benching, that was cutting.
Cody and I did well. He got benched first, and then
That's fair.
I am very concerned about Pittsburgh stopping the run in this game because with Derek Harmon out last week, Pittsburgh just got annihilated. And at the beginning of the season, we saw with Derek Harmon out, Pittsburgh got run all over until he came back from his knee injury. So we need a drastically better performance from that front seven. And who helps out with that when the front seven isn't doing it? The safety room, right? Well, now we got Kyle Duggar out. So I'm also concerned about Chuck Clark starting, which is going to happen. Let's be real. I would like to see some Sebastian Castro mixed into it today, tomorrow. I don't expect that to happen just because he hasn't been with the team for very long. That concern alone has me going in favor of the Ravens. I'm going 17-9 in a low-scoring affair. I think both offenses struggle to score points, but Pittsburgh struggles to stop the Ravens' run game once again, making us all want to pull what little hair we have left out of our heads.
Yep. I like it. I like it for the fact that we're being real.
Yeah.
We're being real here. So we
I
will
told
see
you
what
guys,
happens.
I need to see them win before I start predicting them to win again.
Yeah, I need to see them do anything correctly. So if you guys want to share your score predictions or keys to success, feel free to share them with us on social media. We can't thank you guys enough for being here, whether you're watching or listening. Don't forget to like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. Don't forget the 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Make James very happy. And until next time, this is your host, James and Cody, signing off.
Peace.